Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more WWE 2k15 Universe Mode. My name is BrendenPlayz. A couple of weeks until Survivor Series, and we're here with this week's Monday Night Raw. And on this week's show, we have a couple of matches we need to figure out that will be a part of Survivor Series. So we're going to unravel a couple of these matches, and we're going to try and find out what exactly Survivor Series will bring us. Already a couple of matches announced. Of course, you can check that out on BrendenPlayz.com to see the cards so far. As for Daniel Bryan, he'll be coming up against Mark Henry in singles action. Both Henry and Bryan are looking to get that US Championship around their waist. Speaking of the US Champion, Dolph Ziggler, he'll be taking on Kane one-on-one. Of course, Kane defeated Daniel Bryan last week, and we'll see how that one goes. This is going to be a matchup that will determine who will face the New Day next week to be the number one contenders for the tag titles. Kid and Cesaro will take on Zayn and Neville. The winners will take on the New Day next episode in a number one contenders match. Natalya will face AJ Lee one-on-one. And we'll have Sheamus, who'll team up with Seth Rollins to take on Rob Van Dam and Randy Orton. Of course, Sheamus and RVD, it's official. They will go one-on-one at Survivor Series. And The Rock, he will go one-on-one with Roman Reigns. Of course, The Rock is going one-on-one with Randy Orton at Survivor Series. And we'll talk about what's going on with The Rock's little picture there in a moment. Daniel Bryan defeats Mark Henry, though. Dolph Ziggler versus Kane. Kane knocks off Dolph Ziggler, so it could be another Daniel Bryan and Kane match to determine the number one contender very soon. Natalya defeats AJ Lee, and in our tag team match, Sheamus and Rollins versus RVD and Randy Orton, it is Sheamus and Seth Rollins coming away with the win. And of course, Seth Rollins will be defending his WWE Championship against Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. The Rock and Randy Orton will be going one-on-one to determine the number one contender there. And, of course, Sheamus and Rob Van Dam one-on-one. Bit of a grudge match. We're going to see what goes down there. Who's going to get the better of who as we look to, I guess both these men have been part of, being a former tag team. And, you know the story. But here's Tyson Kidd, his partner Cesaro coming out right now. So the deal with this match, as I mentioned a moment ago, the winner of this one is going to go on to face the New Day next episode. So, of course, the New Day were the tag team champions. They were defeated by the Ascension. And now the winner of this match will get the opportunity to face the New Day next week. And whoever wins this match will be the number one contenders. Of course, the New Day do technically have a rematch clause, but they've been a bit hit and miss. Whereas I think Zayn and Neville and Cesaro and Kidd have been pretty good. And probably both, one of these teams I think deserves an opportunity. So we're going to give them a shot. Next week, one of these teams is going to face the New Day to find the definite number one contenders. Who is the better out of these teams? Here is Neville. So Neville and Zayn teaming up tonight, and a lot of you guys have been asking what's the deal with Neville and Zayn, and we saw they competed in a singles match not long ago, but they're still a tag team at the moment. They're still trying to find their way here on Monday Night Raw. They haven't exactly excelled so far. They haven't really had too much success. They've been trying hard. You got to give them that. They've been trying to get themselves in title contention for these tag titles, but they haven't really been able to do it. I guess a lot of people are kind of speculating, are these guys working together as a tag team? Are they good enough to be tag team champions? Should they remain being a tag team, or should they move on to singles careers? I think probably eventually these guys will have singles careers, but I think at the moment they're just trying to focus on winning these tag team titles, and it's an easy entry point. These guys coming onto Raw together, they're not going to get thrown around into the abyss of the mid-card, So there's a lot of guys competing for that US Championship, as we already found out tonight. We've got Mark Henry, Bryan, Kane, and we've had Sheamus and RVD beforehand. So there's a lot of guys competing for that US Championship at the moment. So I think these guys, Neville and Zayn, teaming up and leaving it at that at the moment is probably a better idea for them. And certainly moving in towards the future is probably the best idea to remain as a tag team for now, until I guess they complete everything they can do as a tag team, and see how far they can go as a tag team. Who knows, they could be one of the best tag teams we've had on Raw, or they could be a complete fail. So far, they've been a very hit and miss, and it's exactly the same as Cesaro and Kidd right now. Cesaro and Kidd a bit more newer onto the scene though, and they haven't really had much of a chance to kind of prosper, but certainly they've been hot and cold. Had a couple wins here and there. Cover here by Neville. Cesaro with the counter. Neville very close to the ropes. Another reversal as well. Back and forth between these two. Is he got it? No, he kicks out at 2.5. I thought for a second he was going to upset him there and get the early victory, Cesaro. A nice little sequence there between Neville and Cesaro, and Cesaro sent into the corner, but Cesaro with the counter to the knee to the midsection. So at the moment, very back and forth between these two, and of course the Ascension are our new tag team champions, the New Day, looking to get their rematch. We've also seen Golden Stardust in amongst it as well, but I think the problem at the moment with the New Day and Golden Stardust is that they've been there, done that, and failed. Certainly Golden Stardust have knocked off the Ascension. They've looked pretty good at times, but the problem with Golden Stardust is that they had an opportunity for the tag team titles not too long ago, and they failed. So I think they're sent down to the bottom. I think they've had their opportunity, and now it's time to give another tag team a chance. Whether it's the New Day having their rematch clause, or it's one of these two teams in this match right now, finally getting an opportunity for the tag team titles. I think it's fair to give a new team another opportunity, rather than having Golden Stardust, who might just get a lucky victory over the tag team champions, another opportunity. So in comes Tyson Kidd, Cesaro tagging out, so it will be Kidd and Neville, and nice move there by Adrian Neville. Down goes Tyson Kidd, and he's going to roll him over, going to go for the pinfall, looks to get the victory early on, but he won't get there as Kidd kicks out successfully at 2. Not too much drama there. I mean, Cesaro wasn't too worried at the moment. So, just to kind of clarify what was going on with The Rock, little image there. The Rock, my universe mode is saying The Rock is injured. So, I don't know what the deal is. So, when we get to The Rock later on tonight, it will be the proper Rock version. I had to make a clone of him. But The Rock, at the moment, he's locked. So, I can't actually use him. He's injured or something. So, that's the first time this has happened to me, so I'm kind of going, what the hell do I do here? So, do I pretend that he's injured, or I just don't use him? So I wanted to use The Rock in recent weeks, but he's been injured. So I thought, okay, maybe just a 1 week thing, he'll be right the next week. But it still hasn't changed, so I've had to kind of go ahead and make a clone. But everything will be fine, he'll be all sorted out, so don't you worry about that one. But that's the reason why that was going on. As Zayn, nice little kick there, nice little atomic drop, followed up by a kick by Sami Zayn. So some good teaming here by Zayn and Neville, Next Generation. So they're doing pretty well so far as a team. A lot of people, like I said earlier, believe these guys probably don't have what it takes to be tag champs, and they probably should split sooner rather than later. But I think they've got what it takes. I think, they are working pretty well as a team. They just haven't had that big victory yet. They just haven't been able to win on a consistent basis to keep themselves in the hunt. And Cesaro and Kidd, they've just been on a bit of a same. Obviously, they haven't been around for as long, so they haven't had a chance, like I said, to really establish themselves here in the tag team division. But certainly, I think these two teams could be the future of Monday Night Raw's tag team division, that is for sure. As Tyson Kidd back up thanks to Sami Zayn. He's going to get him to the middle of the ring, and a backbreaker there, drilling the knee into the spine of Tyson Kidd. Cover again. Cesaro now senses the urgency to break that one up, gets involved ASAP. I guess he probably feels as though Zayn and Neville are probably getting the better of Tyson Kidd at the moment, but Tyson Kidd able to capitalize, going to look for the tag. In comes the Swiss Superman Cesaro, former United States champion here in Universe mode, and Cesaro, he's now moved away from the singles division and become a tag team guy. I mean, he's already been a tag team before here in Universe mode, but it wasn't very successful in his own right, and he became a very good contender for that World Heavyweight Championship over on SmackDown. He was almost becoming the next big thing on SmackDown, but it wasn't to be, and he's back on Raw, and he's now in the tag team division, looking to get some gold around his waist. He doesn't care what gold it is, he's just looking to become a champion of some sort. And here we go, this time the double team's going to happen to Cesaro, as Zayn and Neville working well again here in this matchup. And now Zayn working away with some stomps to Cesaro. Back to his feet now, Cesaro, though. Zayn is going to look to... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I thought he was going to counter it. He's not going to. Shoulders down. Kicks out at 2. I thought Cesaro was going to counter into a powerbomb or something. I thought, uh-oh, Sami Zayn got caught. But Zayn were able to follow through, execute the move, almost getting the pinfall victory for his team. And that would have got themselves an opportunity to become number one contenders next week, of course, against the New Day. Now Cesaro's got Sami Zayn, whips him into the corner. Tyson Kidd might be looking to get the tag. Cesaro's going to wait it out, though. I thought he was going to go for the tag. He's still got a little bit more damage he wants to do to Sami Zayn with a snap suplex. And now might be looking... Oh, I thought he was going to go for the tag again. He decided against it. Nice knee drop to the skull of Sami Zayn, right in the nose or the forehead. And Neville, he wants to get the tag. He realizes Sami Zayn could be in a bit of trouble here. Now Zayn whips Cesaro into the corner. Perfect opportunity for a tag. Can Cesaro get himself out of there? Oh, hell of a kick to the corner. What a kick there by Sami Zayn. Cesaro in trouble. And no, Tyson Kidd coming in there. Look, yeah, that's to be expected, but a nice kick there by Sami Zayn. And he's going to tag in Neville. I don't know, Sami Zayn was looking pretty good there. He just got a big move in on Cesaro, but he decided to tag out. Maybe feeling a little bit tired, as you can see there, hanging onto the ropes at the moment. But Neville, I thought for a second he almost ruined the momentum for his team, but he's able to stay in there, kick to the midsection, or knee to the midsection, and he's going up to the top rope. Oh, wait a minute. Are we going to see it? Are we going to see the red arrow? The red arrow off the top. Two. Oh, wow. The last second, literally the last moment before it was going to be a 3 count, Tyson Kidd gets involved and saves the match. And now Neville, big kick to Cesaro. Another pinfall predicament here. Tyson Kidd gets involved again. He realizes that his team is in trouble here. He needs to keep this match afloat. And now Cesaro whipping Neville into the corner again. And at the moment, it really is really back and forth. I mean, it's gone from... Oh, nice spinning forearm there by Neville. I mean, at the moment, you know, it's been Cesaro and Kidd. Then it goes back to Neville and Zayn. And now it could be back to Cesaro. Oh, Cesaro. Oh, Neville accidentally kicked the ref. He got himself in the way. Yeah, kind of missed your target there, Adrian. But at the moment, Tyson Kidd gets involved now. He's back in the matchup. And a nice arm drag. Down goes Tyson Kidd. And as we see Neville going for a pinfall, here he goes. Cover. Ooh, and Cesaro getting involved again to save this one. And very close match between these two teams at the moment. Could go either way, really. I mean, both teams want to be tag team champions that badly, and this truly is the match, the gateway to get themselves an opportunity for those titles. So this is a big match. It's probably the biggest match for both of these teams thus far in their short little runs as tag teams. As now Cesaro gets in. He thought he might be able to get the better of Adrian Neville, not able to do so. In comes Cesaro, and now Zayn enters the match and takes down Cesaro, going for the cover. Referee a little bit slow to the count, allows Tyson Kidd to get in there comfortably to break this one up. And both teams, you can see Neville quite tight on the outside. Zayn's been tight as well. Oh, beautiful move there. And quick tags being enforced here. And that's probably the way to go, because both teams seem to be a little bit tired at the moment. It's been a long match, and they're trying to do everything they can to reserve energy and keep some energy stored up for the finish. And now Neville with a nice move there on Cesaro. So some frequent tags, some good tag team work here by Zayn and Neville. And they look to be on the same page. They look to be working quite well tonight as a tag team. And I think it's probably one of the first times I've really seen these two guys be able to execute some tag team moves effectively. And we've seen this move a couple of times. And now Sami Zayn this time is on the... he's delivering the kick to Cesaro, who's on the receiving end of it. And now Zayn going for the pinfall attempt again. And this time not going to get it again as Tyson Kidd interferes. And of course you basically have to try and take both guys out at the same time at the moment. You know, Tyson Kidd's going to save this match every time because of the circumstance of it and how big it is. And that's a big suplex there by Sami Zayn. And what's Zayn going to try and execute now? Uh-oh, wait a minute. Oh, here we go again. We saw it again. We saw this one earlier. This time he gets it. This time he gets it. Zayn and Neville have won the match. And this time, the move that Sami Zayn used, able to keep the shoulders down. This time Tyson Kidd wasn't able to get in there and interfere this time. And look at it. Bang. The referee was right there. It was a quick count. The referee on the ball for once in his lifetime. I mean, what are we paying him for? He's pretty damn slow at the best of times. But that time he was finally good and allowed Sami Zayn and Neville to pick up the victory. Next week they're going to face the New Day, and the winner will face the Ascension at Survivor Series. Is this the big win that these two young guys needed to upstart their career? Are they going to be the next tag team champions? We may be finding out at Survivor Series, but next week they have to overcome the former champions of the New Day. As we get ready to move on to our next matchup, it's going to be The Rock and Roman Reigns. And speaking of The Rock, here he comes. So this should be very, very good between these two men. The Rock, obviously former WWE champion, and the reason why he's getting an opportunity at Survivor Series to be the new #1 contender is because he and Randy Orton both never got an opportunity for a fair one-on-one rematch for the WWE Championship. So what I've decided to do is put both Randy Orton and The Rock together one more time. I mean, we've seen these guys battled out a couple of times here in Universe Mode, all epic matches, and now they're going to have one more match, this time at Survivor Series, and we're going to see those guys finally battle it out and determine the undisputed #1 contender. Speaking of #1 contenders though, Roman Reigns has earned the right by a big victory over Triple H in a no-holds-barred match. Obviously, a lot of you guys were pretty upset with that little matchup. You know, what happened there and the fact that Roman Reigns is the #1 contender. A lot of you guys aren't exactly thrilled to see Roman Reigns in that position. But hey, he's not the champion yet. He's still got to beat Seth Rollins at Survivor Series. But look, Roman Reigns, he was the MVP of Hell in a Cell. And the reason why he had the opportunity is because he came so close, and really, he had the match won, and Seth Rollins came in and stole it away. And obviously, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have had their dealings in recent weeks, and, you know, at the moment, I guess Roman Reigns certainly is deserving. I'm not going to say he doesn't deserve it. I mean, Ryback's been damn good as well. I think Ryback's very unlucky to have missed out on the #1 contender match. I think, if anything, it probably should have been Ryback and Roman Reigns going one-on-one, but it was Triple H. And Triple H put up a hell of a fight. It took a lot out of Roman Reigns to beat Triple H and claim the #1 contender spot as a nice little belly-to-belly slam by Roman Reigns on The Rock. This is the first time these two men have faced off in Universe Mode, I believe. And of course, a bit of a family heritage between these two. So, The Rock, nice little suplex as well. So this is a big match for The Rock and Roman Reigns. Obviously, The Rock, he's had a lot of losses in recent times. He hasn't been able to really prove his dominance. And coming in Survivor Series, I think a lot of people are probably expecting The Rock to lose to Randy Orton. I know I probably would. If I had to bet right now, I'm going to say Randy Orton's going to win it. Because The Rock has just suffered lots of bad losses. You know, what I mean by that is, you know, he won the big match at SummerSlam, sorry. He won the match, and I think that probably took everything out of The Rock. I think The Rock really had nothing left in the tank once he won that match. Obviously, being on a several-month hiatus, coming back and winning the match against Randy Orton, it probably took everything out of The Rock. And he comes back, wins the match, and then he goes on a bit of a losing streak, and he's a little bit patchy at the moment. He gets the odd win here and there to kind of keep him going. But, you know, he's not The Rock that we used to know. And so The Rock, I think, needs a victory here to get himself going again. And I guess, you know, probably try and recover what we've seen out of The Rock before. Because we've seen definitely some great periods of The Rock, but we've also seen definitely some dark periods. And if you go back to this time last year in Universe Mode, I mean, The Rock, I think, was on a huge losing streak. I mean, maybe a little bit before Hell in a Cell, The Rock was on a huge losing streak. Then he finally started to win a match. Finally won a match, and then he went on a roll from there and went on to challenge Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. But he did fail. And of course, then we had Team People versus Team The Authority at Survivor Series, one of the greatest matches in Universe Mode history, if I may say so myself. So that was a 3-on-3 Survivor Series traditional elimination match, of course, which SmackDown will be getting the one and only traditional Survivor Series match. I'm going to allocate every year that SmackDown or Raw will get it. And at the moment, until there's 5-on-5 matches, I'm just going to keep the one 3-on-3. So that will be, of course, Team Undertaker versus Team Jericho on SmackDown. But anyways, back to The Rock. So this time last year, he was just starting to resurge his career a little bit. You know, he suffered a lot of losses. It was a huge losing streak after beating Randy Orton at Vengeance last year. We all thought, here we go, The Rock, he's going to be back full time. He's going to be the next champion. It just never happened. And then he finally started to win a couple of matches, and we thought, okay, now this is the time for The Rock to win it, and he never did. So I think at SummerSlam, you know, his big return, it took everything out of The Rock. You know, he put his whole heart and soul into that one match, and he hasn't been able to follow it up with some big victories since. Of course, losing at Night of Champions, lost his championship. Wasn't pinned, but he lost his championship, and then he lost at Hell in a Cell as well. So he hasn't had a fair opportunity for a rematch, so he will be getting an opportunity against Orton at Survivor Series to crown the #1 contender. And obviously for Roman Reigns, you know, a lot of people, obviously, like I said before, are doubting that Roman Reigns actually deserves to be in this position. So a win over The Rock is going to quiet a few haters, in my opinion, some doubters that Roman Reigns isn't good enough and hasn't done enough to get himself in this position. But, oh, nice little knee to the kidneys there by Roman Reigns on The Rock. Here's the cover here by Roman Reigns. 2, kicks out. So, I mean, if The Rock does beat Roman Reigns here, and Roman Reigns does somehow to beat Seth Rollins at Survivor Series, it's going to make for a very interesting matchup coming up probably at TLC when we have... oh, wait a minute. The Rock kicks out again. So it's going to make for a very interesting matchup between maybe The Rock and Roman Reigns at TLC, that's for sure, because The Rock already had beating Roman Reigns beforehand. So that'll be very interesting indeed. So this could be the makings of a potential rivalry later on, as Roman Reigns kicking out again before a count can occur. And now Reigns against the ropes, but oh, counters and sends The Rock outside the ring. And now Roman Reigns and The Rock both outside. The referee's counting. Reigns trying to send The Rock into the steel steps. The Rock misses it though and goes into the ringside barricade. I don't know what's better. And Reigns striking The Rock with these big right hands. Those big haymakers to The Rock to the outside. And this is all about trying to prove who's the better man here. This is all about trying to prove and get some momentum heading in towards Survivor Series. Silence a few doubters. Both men struggling to really prove their dominance. Both men are struggling to really keep any consistency going. So they both need this victory here. So both men are not going to lay down that easily, as The Rock... Nice little shoulder block. Down goes Roman Reigns again. And you'd have to say The Rock at the moment is in control of this one. Surprisingly, I thought Roman Reigns might be able to do it. And there's the spine buster there by The Rock on Roman Reigns. And now the cover. 2. No! Wow, that was very close. Very, very close. Oh, wow. How did Roman Reigns kick out of that? The spine buster almost doing it. And now The Rock, what's he thinking now? What's he got planned? And we're going to see The Rock bottom. Is he going to follow it up? And wait a minute. Oh, Roman Reigns! Oh, neck first into the bottom rope. Trying to damage the throat of Roman Reigns. And now The Rock might be looking to put the finishing touches to Roman Reigns. Look out. Here we go. The Rock bottom to Roman Reigns. Is this going to be the end of Roman Reigns? Is the Rock going to look strong heading into Survivor Series? He gets the win. The Rock has done it, and that is a huge win for The Rock. He needed that desperately to get himself back on track. And Roman Reigns, well, does he deserve to be there? Roman Reigns gets the big win when it mattered, but following it up on the next week of Raw, unable to do so with another victory. But The Rock walks away with the chocolates tonight, and he gets a big victory. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That will do it for today's episode of Raw. If you guys enjoyed it, please do leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe as well to see more Universe Mode episodes coming up real soon. And I know you guys have been asking and begging more Universe Mode, more Universe Mode. Like I said, I'm going to try and do some more. I apologize for a little bit of a wait for this one. The next one will be out a little bit fast. I'm going to try and do one every second day. Look, I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but I'm going to try my best to try and get it done for you guys. So thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you all next episode.